Hello everyone, thank you for pressing play. You are watching another episode of ExcaliburCCGTV. I am Chris, my co-host Randy, as always, and we are talking great comics hitting the shelf for September 3rd, 2014. Not too much longer left of the year here.
Thought you were going to sneeze.
I know, I was holding it back, baby. Guys, thanks for pressing play. We have broken 400 subscribers. I think we're hanging around 410, 415 or something like that. And that is thanks to you guys. Thank you for helping us out with that. If you haven't watched our show before, we talk about great comics every week. Randy and I get together. We talk about stuff hitting the shelf, stuff that we're looking forward to, the new number ones, storylines, try to keep you on top of what's going on with some of your favorite characters, comics, and companies. That's what we do. So guys, hit the subscribe button right below. It's like right down there. Give us a thumbs up and log in, because we're going to want you to comment on this video later on with our question of the week. Before we go into anything else, though, my friend Randy's got some stuff to show us.
Toys, new and old,
yes,
in the comic shop.
Yes.
How about this cool toy here? One Jesse Pinkman. I would have shown the Walter White and the Tidy Whities, except that one already sold today.
Oh,
and,
really? Okay.
We've got regular clothes Jesse as well. I want to use Jesse's favorite word right now, but I don't think we can on the show. So you can have Jesse going around as much as you want there. So we got Jesse.
Oh man! Cool.
If you're a fan of the old school '90s toys and some of the old school '90s characters, some still well remembered, some long forgotten, possibly.
Yeah.
We have some of the figures in, like Grifter and his crew from the Wildcats.
Nice.
There, the old '90s
Jim Lee.
toys. Yeah. We also have Prime in some of the different Ultra Force toys. These are the more kind of forgotten characters there.
Yeah.
People don't remember them as much. Nightman Prime is another one that they put out. And I'd have to look on there. Prototype is another character. And my personal favorite toy, Gargoyles figures.
Oh, really?
Demona, Lexington, Xanatos, who else? Brooklyn, a couple of different characters there. Lexington was another one of them. So we don't have a Goliath one. That stinks. Although I'm excited. I was looking through the latest previews here, and they have a Goliath shirt. This bad boy's ordering that bad boy. So, lots of cool throwback figures here. They aren't the most posable there, with all the different joints and everything, but they are some neat looking figures that take you back to, when you were younger.
Exactly. There you go, guys. These are here at the shop.
That's right.
Get your touch of nostalgia. Get your touch of Breaking Bad. I'm looking at the back here, man. I didn't realize they were making all these other ones. There's the Tidy Whities, Walter White.
You got Heisenberg.
Yeah. You got the dead Gus Fring.
Yeah. And my favorite, Mike
Ehrmantraut.
Yes, the best character from the show.
Awesome. I think he's even supposed to be in the Better Call Saul series.
Yes, he is. Yes. And Jesse's pushing to have, or Aaron Paul's pushing to have Jesse as one of the main recurring characters on Better Call Saul?
Yeah. Interesting. That would be very interesting if they did that.
Yeah.
So guys, guys, this is the beginning of September. And what is September all about, Randy?
September is about celebrating books that have been banned or challenged within the library system. Mm-hmm. And this year, the focus is on banned and challenged graphic novels.
Right.
In order to celebrate that, the week of September the 20th, 21st, that week, the Shreve Memorial Library is going to be celebrating banned comics, graphic novels by showing, I think, a couple of different Alan Moore films. And in addition to that, on September 23rd, that Tuesday at 7 p.m., we're going to have a special episode of Talking Comics with Chris and Randy there at the library. This is going to be what we're calling a live episode. It's live because we're going to have an actual studio audience there, people watching us, possibly asking questions. It's just going to be kind of a history of the graphic novels as they've progressed from being under, I guess, strict scrutiny with the comic book code to, being free to tell just about anything these days. Yeah. So it's just going to be looking at the different types of graphic novels that you can find and kind of enlightening people. So a lot of you guys that are new to reading comics, and there seem to be quite a few of our viewers that are newer to comics. This is going to be one of those things that maybe you didn't know about some of this, and so it will enlighten you as well.
Exactly. And like he said, we're going to be doing it in front of a live audience at the library.
That'll be new, different.
And we're going to video it to share with you guys after the fact.
Yeah.
So you guys will get to watch and give your 2 cents worth afterwards and tell us what you think about everything.
And if you're in the area, feel free to stop in. We have an event set up on Facebook, and you guys, it's a public event. So if you are one of our viewers, you are on Facebook, and you are not, have not received any sort of invite, you can find Talking Comics with Chris and Randy at Broadmoor Library, and you can invite yourself because it is open.
Cool, very cool. That is coming up. We are talking about that later on this month.
Yes.
I'm so nervous. Oh my God. But guys, diving into the storylines for this week hitting the shelf. Randy's going to kick it off because he has quite the task.
All right.
He's warmed up. He's ready to go. Hit it, Randy.
I'm ready for this. This is the big one. This is September. For DC Comics, that means event month.
Right.
So every September since New 52, they've launched doing something to celebrate their re-release of the New 52.
Right.
So this is Future's End.
Future's End.
With Future's End, we have Action Comics. Within Action Comics, the Superman is MIA.
Yeah.
Ordinary people are starting to exhibit his strengths and abilities.
What?
We have Aquaman Comics, where Mera is now Queen of Atlantis and has sentenced her unfaithful husband, Aquaman, to death.
Yes.
We have Batwing, where Lucas Fox has, he looks to be rebuilding a more deadly and dangerous Leviathan.
Right.
Ooh, what's going on there? Detective Comics, Batman's greatest ally, the Riddler? Question mark. Haha, pun intended. Yes. Earth 2, Michael Holt is a man with a mission. He is going to ensure that neither of the worlds, his or Earth 2, is going to face war ever again. We've got Grayson, where Dick Grayson is now loyal to one country, Mother Russia. He's facing off against the Beast from the East.
What?
We'll see who that is.
Okay.
Green Arrow, for fans of Lemire and Sorrentino's run on Green Arrow. This is really your official end to it, as Green Arrow is dead. We will see who his replacement is. Those of you reading it pretty much know who it's going to be, so it'll be cool to see that.
Exactly.
Green Lantern, the only relic can defeat the Black Lanterns and save the universe.
Yes.
But at what cost?
Right.
For Hal Jordan.
Yes.
We've got Swamp Thing, where the avatars of the green, the red, and the gray face off against those of bacteria and metal. That seems a little different. Will Alex Holland know what it means to be human again, or will all humanity be lost from him forever? Finally, in Phantom Stranger, we have Phantom Stranger with one coin left and one final challenge that he must face to have redemption. So we'll see what goes on there.
Anything special going on with these covers?
They're ventricular covers, whatever. They're the 3D covers, that they will have the image. As you move them, you will see it shift from current to the 5 years later on it, or you can receive for $1 less the regular cover that won't have that image. It'll be a different cover. So your choice, what you want to get there. DC says they've done it right this year, and they've gotten enough orders in so they're not going to screw it up like they did with your 3D cover or whatever ventricular. Whatever the word is, covers last year. So that's it.
That was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. And guys, I would show you the 3D covers if I could, but you've already seen. I put the regular covers up, or the covers that I could show you up during that whole sequence there. So be sure and get those. There's a ton. People are really liking these weekly events.
Yeah.
And people are really looking forward to this future end stuff. I mean, we got this stuff
Right.
going on through March of next year with DC Comics.
And
so.
because this is a one-shot, people can pick up as much as they want or as little as they want with those characters there.
Exactly. Moving on, heading to the other side, we're moving to Marvel Comics. Death of Wolverine starts this week, guys. It's been a long time coming. If you've been reading the previous 2 volumes of Wolverine, you know it has led up to this, the death of Wolverine. And we got Charles Soule and we have Steve McNiven coming on board for this 4-issue miniseries detailing the death of Wolverine.
Yes. Weekly.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
Weekly. This whole thing is going to go down in September, and October will be the ramifications of the death of Wolverine.
So we'll be looking at the legacy of Wolverine, all that stuff.
All of those will be October.
Awesome. All
right.
Yeah.
Continue. Is that it?
That's it, man. I mean, you know, if you've been reading it, you know what's going on. It's been hyped up enough. You know what's going on. Wolverine is going to die.
Yeah, and you see beautiful Steve McNiven art in those previews pages there.
Yes.
Continuing with Marvel Comics, we have March to Axis. Guys, this is the next big event here for the fall, and you want to be on board for this. If you don't want to miss out on where everything kind of starts at, pick up Captain America number 24 right here. It's in the middle of a storyline where Zola is attacking New York City. People who we thought dead are back. People who we thought dead are nobody's staying dead there, apparently. So I don't know what to think with that. But the big thing that is the Axis part of this is that the Red Skull's long game plan is revealed here in Captain America. So, and as you know, Red Skull's one of the big major baddies. It's going to be the focus of Axis.
Yes.
There. So, and just a little spoiler there. I think it's kind of neat that they toyed with Charles Xavier when he did something to mind wipe Magneto back in the day. The storyline where Wolverine first had his adamantium pulled from his skeleton. Extinction or no, I don't remember what the thing was with that. But they had back in the day there where his mind apparently touched Magneto's mind and wiping it clean, and it festered this evil in him that brought about Onslaught.
That's right.
And it appears now that the Red Skull took a certain one Charles Xavier's brain, put it into his to have his abilities, and something's festering in there again.
Exactly.
So that it gives you a little background, a little incentive, a little juiciness, a little bit of the steak here. Say here, have a sample, so that if you guys weren't planning on picking this one up, maybe that says, hey, sounds interesting. Let me get this Captain America 24.
Starting off with the road to Axis there. So there you go, guys. And that is going to be a big event. That's Marvel's big thing. So stay tuned for that. Moving on, we are wrapping up Marvel's current big thing with Original Sin number 8 hitting the shelf this week. Jason Aaron, Mike Deodato, The Final Judgment. We're going to find out what is going to be the ultimate fate of these heroes involved with this conspiracy, with Nick Fury, with all the changes. And there's been a lot of repercussions. I'm not going to say a lot. There's been several repercussions going alongside with the other miniseries that have been trailing beside this.
Right.
We saw the death of a very popular Howling Commando. We've seen major changes to Iron Man and the Hulk. Major changes to Loki and Thor.
Yeah. Well, Thor in more than one way.
Exactly. So there, yes, exactly. Not just having a sister, but some big changes that have happened with him as well. And this is the conclusion this week. We also have a tie-in issue with that with Uncanny X-Men number 25, an Original Sin tie-in. We are looking at Xavier's greatest secret finally revealed and what the X-Men will do when they are left holding the line. With that, I thought it was a really cool way to bring in She-Hulk into the X-Men with what she's done in handling that. So
the last time she was there with the X-Men was when they were fighting there, Avengers vs. X-Men, and she was one that showed up at the school there and took everything on. So I guess fences are mended, everybody's kissed, made up, hugged, made up, whatever they want to do and made up.
Exactly.
It's She-Hulk. She has a bit of a reputation.
Exactly. So you don't want to mess with that, guys. That's it for the storylines, if I'm not mistaken.
That's it.
We are moving on, following the banned books type theme. Randy, tell them about what the question of the week is.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten this from you guys before. If one of the things I find with a lot of the readers who are reading comics these days that are older, that have not read it when they were younger, is that they start off reading graphic novels of something. They pick it up, they go, hey, this is pretty cool, and they continue reading and picking up monthly series. So I'm curious, what is your favorite graphic novel? It can be an original graphic novel, or it can be what Chris calls trade paperback, where it's a collected edition of a story that came out in one of the books. So what is your favorite graphic novel?
Does it have to be just one?
It can be whatever you want.
Because I got at least two that I would like to make as mine.
Sure, yeah. It can be as many as you want. What do you have?
Starting off for me, it was such a Louis LaRosa, the artist. He's working with Valiant Comics right now, doing a lot of stuff with them. He did Punisher with Garcia back in the day. He had told me about a series that I had to check out.
Yeah,
Meta Barons from Humanoids Publishing. Meta Barons was freaking awesome. It was freaking awesome. It was that Jodorowsky, author, publisher, European type,
French.
Yes, thank you. It was collected, and I got the English. It was in English for me, of course, obviously, but that was, I had never read anything like that in comics ever. Period. It was awesome. I mean, it was like it's sci-fi. It was sci-fi. It was biblical, futuristic. It was just concepts that were just mind-blowing to me. I highly recommend you check out at least the first volume of that.
Yeah, there are a lot of good books from Humanoid Press.
Yes.
I enjoy them quite a bit.
And Jodorowsky, he's a very popular author over there and stuff. I wasn't aware of him at all until Lewis told me about that. So definitely Meta Barons. Just awesome name, awesome series. The next one for me, which is really another collection, was Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's We Three.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So those would definitely be my top two right there. Just fantastic work, mind-blowing art, awesome concepts, and just a premise that just snatches you away.
Cool. For me, I think one of my favorite graphic novels is a collected edition of, I just absolutely loved, was it Mark Grunwald that did Squadron Supreme?
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yes.
And that was one of the first things I read comic book wise at Barnes & Noble. I was one of those awful people that sat in a chair reading the book instead of purchasing it. I grew to hate those people when I worked at Barnes & Noble. But there was just something awesome about that, and it came out the same year. In '86, the same year that Watchmen came out, and The Dark Knight Returns came out. And this was just cool because I like this concept that here you have these heroes that they are trying to be proactive, and they're trying to take down the evil, the villains, before they react or before they do something, and then they take it a step further and they say, well, we're going to make it so that these villains are going to never do this again, and they brainwash them so that they are now heroes. And in essence, what they've done is they've become villains themselves in how they are doing this. So it's a really cool concept, and in fact, it gave us Hyperion, who's now one of the big Avengers. Yeah. And it gave us a lot of different characters there. But man, this was just such a revolutionary look at comics and at superheroes, and it was not me picking up. I was familiar with watching X-Men on TV and Superman and Batman on TV, different things like that, but never having read a comic before, that was just mind blowing. So for me, it was kind of my Watchmen with comics. The other thing that just blew me away and I thought was lovable for all ages there, Bone is just one of those, and that's one of the Band and Challenge comics, oftentimes. And it's like Lord of the Rings meets I don't know. I don't know. It's like a Lord of the Rings for kids. Is basically what it is. And I love the art, and I love the story. Was just so engrossing there, and just from page 1 till 12 volumes later, or if you get one mammoth volume of it, was just so absolutely engrossing.
Cool, very cool. I'm looking forward to checking out Bone. Yeah, because I never have. It's a topic of discussion.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Guys and gals, please log in below and tell us, give us your top 2 favorite
Sure.
graphic novels or
Yeah.
collections, and let us know in the comments below. We want to see. Randy did like the top graphic novels video that we did for last year,
Right.
But like you said, I don't think we ever actually asked you guys what your favorites were.
Yeah,
so.
If we have, we have more viewers now, so maybe we'll
Exactly.
have new responses.
Yeah, exactly. So, log in, tell us below, guys, and we're going to move on to the new number ones hitting the shelf this week.
Lots of good stuff. I'll
wanna
start
start it off?
Yeah, we have from Dynamite Comics, X-Con number 1. Dwayne Straczynski is a writer of hard-boiled crime, so this is right up his alley. The year is 1985. We have an con artist, Cody Pomeroy, and Pomeroy has this gift of being able to, I guess, peer into other people's souls. Unfortunately, he looks into the soul of the wrong man, and he ends up in the Slammer. While in the Slammer, he's almost beaten to death, except he's saved by Barnaby Creed. And he just, Creed just happens to be a big, massive, powerful crime lord who's in prison.
Right.
So, 1989, flash forward 4 years later, we now have a parolee in X-Con with Pomeroy, and he is now owing Creed a favor here.
Right.
But what he doesn't realize, he's now without his powers, and he is the mark. He doesn't realize it. He is the mark. He's in for the long haul with this long con here.
Yeah.
Interesting, hard-boiled, creator-owned, Dwayne Straczynski. 4 or 5 thumbs up.
Yeah. Check it out, guys. One that I'm very much looking forward to is from DC Comics Vertigo. Thank you, Vertigo.
Yeah.
Is The Names number 1 hitting the shelf this week? An 8-issue maxi series that's going to be written by Peter Milligan with art by Leandro Fernandez. And you've seen Milligan and Fernandez around. They've been around
All over the place.
All over the place. But this takes a look at, I guess if you could boil it down, maybe the cost or the sacrifice it takes to be a part of the elite 1% of America. As we take a look at Kevin Walker, who's a successful trader. One night, his world is rocked as a gentleman by the name of the Surgeon walks into his room office, makes him write a suicide note, and then moments later, Walker is dead.
Yeah.
And his wife is on the trail to that because his wife knows that there was no type of issues. His suicide was not like him. There's something wrong with this picture. And she goes into the underworld of the richest and the sickest of the elite of the 1% to find out why her husband is dead and what is going on exactly. So we're looking at a female protagonist, strong female lead with this series, and a very, very interesting premise with the awesome creative team of Milligan and Fernandez.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be checking that out. I want to see what's going on.
It looks interesting. We've also got a mini-series coming up, Hawkeye vs. Deadpool. People love these characters. This is the 0 issue of a 4-issue miniseries here. Jerry Duggan is writing it, and
Matteo
Loli is the artist. I'm not familiar with the name, but it looks like it's Halloween, and there's a S.H.I.E.L.D. espionage mystery at hand in which both of these fan favorites are racing against the clock, trying to, one-up each other here. I don't know exactly what's going to happen there, but it sounds fun, and it sounds like it's probably going to be wrong in some way.
Exactly. That's all I imagine. It's just being wrong the entire time.
Just wrong. So if you like Hawkeye, if you like Deadpool, this is a series that is definitely
that's your compliment
for you.
Exactly. Guys from Image Comics, God Hates Astronauts number 1. Image Comics, new ongoing series by Ryan Brown. You've seen some of his stuff with some Hickman-related stuff, like Manhattan Projects.
Yeah, and his graphic novel, his original graphic novel of God Hates Astronauts.
Exactly. I'm not sure how that came about. I don't know if it was a Kickstarter or something like that, but here we go with him having a full-blown ongoing series at Image Comics. Taking a look at NASA and the super people involved with them. And this is like going to be crazy zany because the description says that they this NASA-funded group of super people must stop a rash of farmers that have been using rocket-powered silos to launch themselves into outer space, becoming space farmers. So the astro farmers. I love that. So we're looking at a guy with a ghost cow head, a bunch of magic bears, and a Chicago cop with robot arms as part of this team to avoid an intergalactic incident. So this looks like crazy, zany, wild, out there, possibly kind of wrong concept.
If you see the confused look on my face as I'm reading his information here, my information is Chris can cover this.
Exactly. So that's what you get, guys.
I sat there and I kind of read it. It was like, I'm not pulling anything together here. I'm giving it to Chris.
What else, bro?
Last up for us with the number ones is Grendel vs. the Shadow, number one. This is a 3-issue miniseries where it takes the original Grendel, Hunter Rose, and he finds himself in a showdown with the Shadow when he is transported to the 1930s New York.
Exactly.
Sounds good, sounds fun, and if you are loving just everything that they're doing with the Shadow right now, maybe you can introduce yourself to a really cool character of Grendel. And Matt Wagner's work here. So that's it for our number ones. Although there are tons of number ones coming out this week, there were just way too many to tell you guys everything.
Exactly.
So I guess you can look at our list below to find out what all the other number ones are.
Exactly. We'll have the shipping list below. You can see what else is hitting the shelf this week as well. Moving on to our last segment of the show, our favorites. These are the comics that we get personally, that we enjoy reading, and are usually at the top of the stack to read the week that they come out. But before we launch into that, there will be some spoilers ahead, and we're going to talk about our favorite issue from last week. Randy, what was your favorite from last week?
Last week, let me say, last week, Wayward probably could have been, because I really enjoyed that. I like that one quite a bit.
Okay.
But I think I'm going with a pretty traditional one for us, with Saga number 22 being my favorite of the week there. That was a tough read for me.
That was, man.
You see just like the family life kind of day to day, and you see what's going on with Deacon, or whatever the robot's name is, and I like this whole transpiring of the robot Prince kind of getting pulled back into things when he's been sidelined. I like that the reporters having been sidelined, and all that Alana had to do was say that one line from the novel, and they're like, wait a minute, something is afoot. So you have characters that have been on the sideline being pulled back into it, but then you have just the real life hitting with two characters. It's a guy who, for whatever reason, says another woman's name in his sleep.
Yep.
And you have, I think, debatable, the worser of the two, the lesser of the two. Sins there with the wife that is hopped up on drugs there. And so you have something very real happening there. It shows kind of some destruction, but it's handled masterfully, so well written, beautiful book that even though it may not be the most happy or even be an uncomfortable kind of topic, I liked it.
Yes. I might have to say that was my favorite from last week too. Especially Robot Prince going to meet the King Robot. And what the King Robot was, and then let's not forget the end of the issue and how the janitor assassin shows up, where he shows up.
His name was something like Deacon or something. Degon or.
He's just, wow. I have no idea what he's doing, but he's taking it to the extreme.
Well, he obviously had this idea where, if he goes to the place where television is broadcast, he can give his demands or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's not how it's playing out.
I know, and you said too when this weeks ago when this story arc started, with that first issue was like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a bit too much of reality mixed in. It's just like taking this darker turn, but still kept you interested and just turning the page with each issue.
I think the thing about this book is it is basically Romeo and Juliet, but what if Romeo and Juliet had not killed themselves? What if they had lived beyond like the 2 days where they knew each other and fell in love with each other?
Yeah.
And this is the reality of it. Once they're around each other for a longer amount of time, maybe they get sick of each other.
Right. So folks, that was. Yes. Saga is still keeping the bar high.
Yeah, definitely.
Very high. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the new ones that are coming out this week that we are very much looking forward to. Randy, what are we starting off with?
We're going to start off with Nailbiter number 5 coming out here. With this, we can give a little background here. You have just gotten caught up on this, so we've left off. They were at the grave. They were digging. They found answers.
Yes, they were at the graveyard of serial killers.
Yeah.
And while looking into the one particular grave to find proof or find some evidence that they were looking for, I can't remember the gentleman's name that came into town, but he actually ends up finding a prison beneath the graves.
Yeah.
And then he ends up finding... Should I go that far and spoil it?
Go right ahead.
Look, he comes into town to find his buddy Carol, and Carol is at this town trying to investigate this, but he ends up finding his friend in that cavern of prison underneath the cemetery.
Yeah.
And he's not whole. He is not intact.
Yeah.
Carol is not. So, but he's still alive.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, that was awesome. That was awesome. And we're still looking at the Nailbiter. He's in jail. A girl's offered some nails to him.
Yeah, we have that uncomfortable bit.
Yeah.
We have the bit that there's still this serial killer out there running around. And the other thing is that Finch is finally getting some answers here.
Yeah.
But they're maybe not the answers he was hoping for. They're a lot worse, and there's something to fear there with all the answers that he and Crane are picking up there. So this is an intense read, and it's one of those that they do a good job of not making it, I want to say, vulgar, with just like how they could with all the goriness of a serial killer. They seem to avoid that, so there's a lot more of the terror with everything than just like having maybe an Avatar book where it would just be all over the place.
Exactly. Great point. It's not like that, but it's still great.
Yeah.
For me, Southern Bastards number 4. You see him right there. There you go, guys. We're looking at the ending of this first storyline, and we're looking at Earl Tubb with a showdown of Coach Boss. And I've really enjoyed this series. If you've watched the videos, you've heard me talk about it before. I really enjoy it. To me, it kind of just has like a spiritual / emotional kind of hook. That's kind of hooked me in. I know several of you have been reading it as well and enjoying it as well, and I am looking forward to see how this storyline wraps up with the tension that has been building from issue number 1, from day 1 of Earl Tubbs going back home to Alabama and finding that his old hometown is not what he expected or what he thought that it would be left behind in the wake of his father and what his father did.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Cool. For me, Rocket Raccoon number 3 comes out here.
Oh, yeah.
I've been loving this. It's been a lot of fun. I love the premise. I love the art. The writing is one of those where I think Scotty Young is maybe fairly new to writing, because I don't think I've read anything from him before, so hopefully that sharpens up with it, but he has a brilliant premise here. What we get to see here, Rocket and Groot, they're about to come face to face with Rocket's imposter. Rocket's supposed to be the only one of his kind, and it looks like maybe that's not the case here. We also have, in the meantime, the crazy X's there are still scheming. So we'll see what goes on with them. We're also supposed to see the fairly obscure Marvel character showing up in here as well, Macho something there. So I've never even heard of this guy, and he's going to be in the book. So we'll see exactly who he is. The art's just a lot of fun. He's one of the main reasons why I went through and picked up all the different Oz books, is because Scotty Young's art is just top notch. Yeah,
and those are great books right there. Last up for me, Moon Knight number 7.
You stole this from me.
I did. I stole it. We got Wood and Smallwood coming on board. Brian Wood and Greg Smallwood coming on board as a new creative team for this series. It's going to be tough to follow up what Warren Ellis and Declan Shalvey did with the first 6 issues, but if anybody can do something great with it, I'm really looking forward to what this team is going to put out there. We're looking at a darkness that hits the city, and Moon Knight must use his weapons and his personalities to figure out and defeat whoever this new foe is. So I'm really looking forward to that and seeing what direction Wood is going to take this storyline into. One of the things that I did like about what Warren Ellis did is that Moon Knight was Moon Knight. We didn't get a bunch of personalities.
Right.
So I'm kind of wary of what may be going on here, but I'm still willing to check it out because I want to see what Wood and Smallwood both have to do with this.
Did we not?
I don't.
Maybe each one of those different costumes was a different personality, and you just don't realize it.
That's a possibility, but he looked so streamlined throughout most of it. It looked like a lot of the same.
Well, the other thing though is that he told us, or we've had the revelation that he is not the same person he was before he died.
Okay.
That's what all his friends said there in the final issue of Morrison's run, or
right.
Ellis run.
Right.
But at the very first issue, Ellis had that bomb drop on us, if I can get that out, that he doesn't have multiple personalities. So we'll see exactly, maybe what Wood's going to be doing here is explaining exactly what this is, because Ellis drops that and then never says anything more.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we're getting there.
So
I don't know. The other real treat here, guys, if you're not familiar with Greg Smallwood,
right.
He did Dream Thief, and I think that's really been the first thing that he's done here within comics, and Jay Nitz all he could do was just talk about how wonderful this art was
right.
there. And you're going to be treated to some amazing art.
Yes.
That's one of those things. Think Michael Lark kind of style.
Yeah,
that's what I see whenever I look at his work.
Not so much Sean Phillips.
I can see some Sean Phillips.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay. Yeah.
Either one's good.
Yeah, that'll work, huh?
Yeah. Last up for me is Iron Fist, The Living Weapon #6. I think this might be the final issue of this story arc. 6 issues is usually about where we go with this. Just as things look their darkest, someone from Rand's past, a familiar face, comes to his aid. Who could it be? There are a whole lot of names that come to mind. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that Misty Knight, but we're probably going back even further than that, looking at childhood faces there. So maybe like his mother would be a guess.
Okay.
With that.
Okay.
So and also they tease that a new hope is born. So we'll see exactly what that means here. Maybe we're having Iron Fist be reborn. I'm excited because in this issue's this month's previews that just came out, he's back in his green outfit.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what's going on with that. Chest showing and everything again.
With the high collar.
High collar.
Nice. Andrews has really been putting Iron Fist through the ringer, man.
Yeah,
it's been crazy.
He has taken him down completely. That you have to wonder what's going to happen next. He is broken,
yeah, and
figuratively and literally broken. So we will see what Kari does to rebuild this. Danny Rand and the Iron Fist.
Yes, yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. It's been great for me. Guys, that's it for this week.
Yep.
Lots of stuff. We got the Future's End. We got the Death of Wolverine. We've got the end of Original Sin. We got these new #1s that you should be checking out. Some great concepts and premises that you should be exploring as well. And then our favorites. Hopefully they mean something to you and you're willing to try them out. But guys, do tell us in the comments below about your favorite, 1 or 2 graphic novels or collected editions.
Sure.
We want to know. We're always always on the lookout for interesting ideas and concepts, even though we may not have time to explore all of them. But tell us below because we do want to know. And that's it for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up down below. You can always follow us on Facebook. Visit our website at www.ExcaliburCCG.com. We are here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and we have our sister store up in Texarkana, Texas.
That's right.
Stay tuned on our Facebook page and our site because we'll have more information coming up concerning the Talking Comics with Chris and Randy for the band book events on September 23rd.
Oh, and if you made it to the ArcLatexCon, feel free to leave a note down below and let us know what happened, what was going on there. I was pretty neat to see that Chewbacca, the original Chewbacca, was going to be there. The vehicle from Optimus Prime from the movies. Lots of cool stuff. They ended up being able to put together a really good show, from what I hear.
Exactly. Tell us below if you were a part of that. We would like to know. And that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Please share it. Please share the video. Tell your friends about us. Until next time, though, guys, be safe, take care, read great comics, and we will see you in our next video. Peace.